With World of Frozen and Adventure Way opening this month, all attention is drawn towards Disney Adventure World, and rightfully so. This major expansion of the Walt Disney Studios park is bringing 2 new attractions this year to the park, a lot of new entertainment, including a new nighttime spectacular, many new restaurants and shops, and much more. One other thing some might miss that the expansion is also bringing is more expansion plots, unlocking new areas for future growth with even more experiences to come. The next major addition will be a new area, the second around the lake, themed to The Lion King. This will feature a state-of-the-art boat ride with thrill elements throughout, including one major drop. Its scale can only be compared to Pirates of the Caribbean and Splash Mountain combined, and with construction now going full steam ahead, hopefully it won't take too long to ride it. Now, in classic theme park fan fashion, we're already looking at what comes next. If you remember, I made a video last year talking about a rumor regarding certain blue tall aliens, and how that could be where the park turns to next. The Avatar rumors have been going for several years now, but last year they resurfaced, triggered by an Easter egg in a backstage photo shared by Disney during the previews of Disney Adventure World. This was the codename of one of the 4 barges for Disney Cascade of Lights. All of them had a name connected to where they were pointing at. We had Frozen, Lion, Racer, and Na'vi, this being the name of the alien species from the Avatar franchise. To add fuel to the fire, respected insider Magic Focus shared that according to their sources, Disney had 2 frontrunners for what to build in this expansion plot, Avatar or Moana. Now, I, like many of you, love to speculate about the future of these places, but rumors can hurt how we experience a resort due to expectations. It must be said that everything I talk about in these rumor and speculative videos are just that, speculation based on third-party information and the odd hint Disney gives us. With that said, it looks like Disney might have chosen what the park will get next, and it might surprise you. According to the rumor, the third land in Adventure Bay will be themed around the world of Moana, or Vaiana, depending on where you're from. This will see the creation of a new world similar to Frozen or The Lion King in terms of scale, adding to the idea of several mini-lands around a lake rather than several fully immersive but separate lands. The centerpiece would be yet another mountain, perhaps a volcano or Te Fiti. While I haven't been to the new side of the park myself, one of the major strong points according to those who have is just how beautiful everything looks, especially the views over Frozen. Once The Lion King opens, we will have 2 gorgeous and very different backdrops side by side. One, a mountain in the savannah, dry and warm, and the other, the snowy tops of North Mountain. With yet another distinct mountain to the right of Frozen, the views from the lake will be incredibly unique and really bring the whole thing together like never before. But does Moana even make sense as a land here? Well, Disney Adventure World isn't a park really bound to any rules. The idea is that this is a place where you can jump into the screen of different movies and get to experience their stories and worlds, so I would say that it definitely works. Speaking of location, the rumor specified that the land wouldn't take over Cars Road Trip, but instead be located between that ride and the world of Frozen. This would be great. First of all, there is a lot of open space for the expansion here, coming in at around 45,000 square meters. This is double what the Lion King will be using, and that's counting the ridiculously large show building of that ride. So there is a lot of space here to build upon. The question now is, what would they build? If you take a look back, some years ago Disney announced they were working on a land to replace Dinoland USA in Animal Kingdom that would feature a large Moana area. There was little information regarding what this would include, but the concept art made clear that there would be 2 rides, a spinner attraction and a new water-based ride with an outdoors drop. I believe this concept gives us the best idea of what to expect from a theming perspective with the types of buildings and structures. The rumors suggest the ride to be found in this third world around the lake will also be a water-based attraction. And I know what you're thinking by now, another boat ride? Let me go through all the info first. Frozen Ever After is a boat ride. The Lion King will be a new generation flume ride, but Moana, according to the rumors, would be a type of immersive family water coaster, featuring a very large indoors dark ride section. So in the end, these are three quite distinct attraction types that have a strong water component. Regarding the ride itself, I can see several possibilities. The first would be a more traditional water coaster attraction, but brought to the next level with launches, stops, and other elements that could really add to the uniqueness, but also story scenes. I think that if the water coaster is where Disney is moving towards, this would be the most likely option. However, there is another that I think would be much more interesting and unique, and that's using a new ride system from Mack Rides, or similar to the Rocking Boat. If you're unfamiliar with this ride system, it works by having a coaster track underwater that leads the boat above. It allows for incredibly unique elements, such as going from a coaster portion directly into a rapids-like area, followed by an elevator, for example. There are countless possible elements with a system like this that would be incredible for a highly immersive story ride, such as what Moana is shaping up to be. It would also add even more uniqueness to the offerings of the park. Dollywood is building a fully indoors ride with this system right now, featuring so many unique and different elements that I'm sure will be incredible and prove how well this ride system can work in such an immersive environment. Now, this is just speculation on my part, as we don't know what the ride system will truly be. I just think that something like this could be incredible. When it comes to the other offerings in the land, I doubt a second large ride would be included here, but maybe something like what the Animal Kingdom concept art shows could happen. Disney Adventure World has a ride that feels very badly placed, the Flying Carpets. I could see it being removed and rethemed to fit into this Polynesian land. This would add more ride capacity around the lake with little investment. Secondly, Disney isn't building these small lands without some kind of entertainment. I could also see a small theater built here for shows or even meet and greets. A ride like this could be added to several other parks around the world, with Hong Kong being a strong contender in my opinion. The park has just rethemed an existing restaurant with the Moana IP, and this also gives us a better idea of what the structures and even restaurants could look like in this land. Well, so now we've seen what the land could be and where it could be located, but let's zoom out a little. Currently under construction is Lion King, a land that won't open its gates until at least late 2028 or early 2029. It looks like Disney wants a major addition every 2 to 3 years in Disneyland Paris. So the most likely outcome is that this expansion could be set to open in either 2031 or 2032, coinciding with the 40th anniversary of the resort. From an announcement standpoint, I doubt we'll hear anything during this summer's D23 Expo, so perhaps it could make sense to look at either 2027 or 2028 for an announcement. Also remembering that the large D23 Expos happen every 2 years, but also that Disneyland Paris likes to do its thing more separately. Since we're already zooming out, it's interesting that this land could be built in the space between Road Trip and Frozen, rather than replacing Cars Road Trip. This suggests that the ride is here to stay for a bit longer than some assumed, but also that Disney could already be thinking of redeveloping that incredibly large area with something else not long after Moana opens up. If we go back to the Avatar rumor, that appears to have been a frontrunner for quite a long time, but something happened that gave Moana the lead. I sincerely doubt that it had anything to do with the box office of the third installment, Fire and Ash. The film brought in less than its previous counterparts, but it still managed to gain more than $1.5 billion in the worldwide box office, with Europe and France in specific being a very strong market for the franchise. When it comes to the theme of this side of Adventure World, that's where I think Moana takes the lead. The two lands around the lake are based on iconic Disney animated movies already, so it makes sense to bring yet another to the fold. Then, you can also add the idea behind Regal View Restaurant, a place where all princesses come together, once again adding another Disney princess-based land. Avatar misses these two very strong points altogether, and while the floating mountains of Pandora would look impressive around the lake, do they really fit? The last argument is that perhaps Avatar is being left on the shelf for a larger project altogether. By 2032, we're already entering that later years of the agreement between Disney and the French government for the hypothetical third gate. I could see an IP as big as Avatar being left out of the current parks in order to shine somewhere else. If you haven't, I recommend watching my video on the Disneyland Paris third gate. There's a lot to see that's very interesting. And so I ask you, what's your opinion on this rumor and what would you personally like to see in such a land? Let me know down below. I'd like to thank Magic Focus for the info regarding this rumor. You can join their Discord community and the Disneyverse via the links below. This week, I'll be heading off to Disneyland Paris in order to check everything Disney Adventure World. There's a lot of content coming after the trip, so make sure to subscribe as not to miss anything. And now, as always, thank you for watching, and that's a wrap.